Good morning. We are back. I know it's been a minute, but I've had some things that I had to handle. But Wisdom Wednesday is back. First of all, I would like to thank all of you all for your love and support. You know, I always thank you all, but that's because I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I would just like to extend my gratitude for those that are reaching out from all over the world. And it's amazing. It's amazing the messages and the love and the support that I get on a daily basis. And I mean a daily basis, not even a weekly basis, a daily basis. First off, I am speaking on behalf of myself. I'm speaking on behalf of my experiences. If you feel like you need legal counsel, I advise you to seek legal counsel if you are dealing with any particular type of situation. I wanted to get into, why I am doing what I'm doing, what drove me to go on this path that I am going on. I must say I come from a loving, a kind, caring family. And that has been embedded in me, which led me to go into law enforcement, a career that is supposed to help those in need. With that being said, after my traffic stop, because of all the love and support that I received, the messages that I received, the stories that I received, the experiences that I received from all over, something just kind of clicked. There's not a day that I'm not out and about that I get someone to walk up to me and say, hey, I truly appreciate what you have done. I truly appreciate what you're trying to do. Much love and respect. But then I also get those that says, I don't care nothing about the police. I actually hate the police, but I vibe with you. I appreciate what you have done. So that for me, it registered. I love to help people. I'm a positive person. I can help. You got people that's been seeking help for a long time, scared to speak up. And they see or have found hope in law enforcement. Why not help? I consider myself that bridge over troubled waters because I have a duty to help. That's what we're supposed to do in law enforcement. We're supposed to help. And we all know that relationship has tarnished over the years. It went away at some point, and we know it's not the way it used to be. But I have a positive mindset in thinking that things can change. Even that person that felt like they would never say the things that they would say to law enforcement, they're saying it now. So I'm one to believe that change is here. I've been saying that from day one, that change is here. We have to continue to move in a positive direction. And I feel like positivity will it will advance into progression, which means what? Change will happen. So that has driven me to continue on this journey, on this path, because it's a positive path. Nothing's negative about it. I did receive 2 questions that I really want to dig into. But my plans are, I want to get into mentoring, which I've already done, inspirational, motivational, and the big hurdle is not bridging the gap, but removing the gap between law enforcement and the community. It has already been expressed to me. It can be done. I know it can be done. All I ask is you all just remain positive, believe, and entrust, because everybody is not bad. Not all law enforcement is bad. Not everybody has bad intentions. So believe that. So My first question is from Sherry Hicks. She asked the question, do passengers have rights? Of course, passengers have rights. Passengers have rights just like the driver does. Anytime that you're stopped on a traffic stop, you are being seized. And we're not going to get into the legal formality of it, but you're being seized. And anytime that you're being seized, and if you are seized, all right, which means you are not free to go illegally, that's a violation of your constitutional rights. Okay. So yes, you do have rights. Now, you do have the right to question the officer on the stop as to why you were stopped. Now, I want to explain that asking versus yelling and cursing, now that's two different things. So I suggest always be respectful, okay? Always be respectful and never ever interfere with an arrest or that officer's operations, okay? Because there's a thin line. Now, if you begin to interfere, now you have broken the law, okay? So be respectful, all right? Keep that in mind, because respect goes a long ways, which drives me to another point. Knowledge is power. Understanding is key. I feel like a lot of times there is a lack of knowledge and there's a lack of understanding, which can lead to people going to jail, which can lead to you watching videos and not understanding what really transpired and why it transpired. That's why I encourage everyone to know your laws, know your rights. Understand what the law is in your state, because every law in each state is different and it varies. There's some similarities, but it does vary. So understand, research your law, try to understand what the law is in your state. I'm going to say this. This is another thing that I need you to understand, which brings me to the second question. And I'm going to read this question before I jump back to this point. I think it all makes sense. Danny Kane says, good morning, beautiful. I don't know if you touched on this. I have a gun permit and I will be purchasing a couple of firearms. One of them I wanted to keep in my car just as protection. State of Alabama says it's okay. I do this as long as it's out of sight and I have a license. But I also have a concern, being a black woman, that for some reason I am pulled over and my car is searched. I would be harassed. What are your thoughts on this? Should I just keep my gun at home? Now, I read that question to go back to the point that I was going to make about Terry stop, pat downs, Terry searches. I need you all to understand that a law enforcement officer, okay, it's a tough job. It's a scary job at times. You don't know who you're stopping at times. You get a vehicle that stopped 2, 3, 4 individuals occupied in that vehicle. An officer has the right to pat you down for his safety, okay? His safety, and he's patting you down. It says, Terry, pat down, okay, for weapons. Okay, that's what that is. Now, everything that I'm telling you, you can do your own research on this as well, okay? But I'm trying to help you all and just give you a little template on understanding why certain things happen, okay? Not everything is against the law, all right? Some things are within the scope of the officer doing his job. There may be situations that an officer may do things that they're not supposed to do, but you have to deal with that and cross that bridge. But I'm giving you just a little guideline, understanding why things happen, okay? Now, that officer does have the right to do that, all right, for weapons. Now, let's jump back into Danny's question about having a firearm, okay? So what she's saying is that she does have the right to carry. She has the license. She's permitted to do so. And she's concerned that if she's pulled over and her vehicle is stopped, she will be harassed. Now, to you, I suggest this. No, you don't necessarily have to leave your weapon at home, because if it's at home, what good is it if something happens? Now, to each his own. Some people fear guns a little bit, rather have them at home, not carry them. However you feel like you need to do. But in this situation, let's say Danny is stopped. And if that officer for some reason asks to search the vehicle and she says yes for whatever reason, then at that time she needs to let that officer know that, hey sir, there is a firearm. Let them know exactly where that firearm is, and that you do have a permit to carry or a license, depending on how it's called in your state. When you are communicative, or you communicate to the officer and you're forthcoming, that puts that officer at ease. When you're combative, that gets the officer on high alert, or makes him or she be on guard. Okay, so relay these messages. So, hey, I have a gun in the car, or whatever the case may be. It's in the console, whether you're sitting in the driver's seat or whatever. Sir, ma'am, I do have a firearm in the vehicle. Just letting you know I have a permit. Now, those are just the problem. Now, that's not going to say that things is going to go right or wrong, but just communicate. All right. So Danny, to you, it's obvious that you have done your research. You have your permit. You understand the scopes of the guidelines of your permit in your state. Just communicate with that officer. Just let that officer know. All I can say is just that I'm an individual. I'm a kind individual. I'm a helping individual with a big heart. And I feel like the community and law enforcement, we have to come together. We have to come together as one. And I feel like the more that you all research and and understand, because it is extremely hard for you as a civilian to understand what a law enforcement officer does. Because that officer has been through a lot of training. That officer have seen some things that you have not seen, experiences as such. So it can be a little difficult at times. But that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I feel like if the community understand what law enforcement is doing, or why in certain situations they are doing what they're doing, that may relieve some tension. That may relieve some stress. And I want to hit on one other thing about Terry's question about passenger rights. Now, I have somewhat covered this before in a previous video. As a passenger, and I'm not going to dig all the way deep into passenger laws, because I want you all to do your own research. It's out there. You can see it. But my suggestion to passengers: your driver is pulled over for whatever reason. Officer approaches the vehicle, asks for their license, insurance. They ask for your identification. Now, you can do one or two things. You can comply, give your license to the officers, or you can say, I'm not driving and I'm not giving you anything. Where is that really going to go? Ask yourself, where is that really going to go? That's not going to end very well. I can't tell you what to do on a traffic stop, but I can tell you this: that's not going to end very well. So comply. That officer wants to know who's in that vehicle for safety reasons. Okay. Because let's be honest, technically speaking, if an officer running tag number of a vehicle, and then let's say you do own that vehicle, they only know about one person in that vehicle, not the other 2 or 3. Right? So that officer wants to know who is in that vehicle. Okay? That person may have warrants, may not, But resisting, and when I say resisting, I don't mean physically, but not complying will make matters worse. And that's your choice. If you want to make them worse, that's on you. But all I can do is advise you to comply. Because remember, I've been saying this from the beginning. Live through the traffic stop, right? Live through the traffic stop. Things may happen and it doesn't sit well with you. But you can always talk about that and deal with that later. But live through and make it through the traffic stop. I will be back. There's going to be some exciting things. I really have some dreams, some visions, some goals as to how I would like to see the law enforcement and the community come back together. Because some of you all are old enough to realize when kids used to love the police, and I want to see that again. I don't want to continue to receive the messages from teachers, can you talk to my kids, because they fear the police. I want to change that. I want to help change that. And I've got a lot of positive supporters out there. And I believe that y'all believe that can happen as well. So you all keep sending the love. Keep sending the support. I'm working. Believe me when I say I am working. I am busy. I still work a full-time job in which I am dedicated to and committed to. So just keep the love, keep the support coming. I do have a great interview with Premier Gospel. I'm waiting for her to get me that recording. It was absolutely amazing. It was really amazing, and I think that you all will enjoy that interview as well. All positivity here, okay? Y'all know one thing about me. That's all I'm about is positivity. We don't entertain negativity over here because you cannot get anywhere focused on negativity. So we're going to drive in a positive manner. I want you all to drive in a positive manner. And we're going to continue doing big things. And I appreciate all of you all. I can't thank you enough. It's still like a dream. I just received a message about 6 hours ago. Where you been? Where you at? Keep it coming. Hey, we love these videos. So I appreciate you all just bearing with me. I know I've been away for about 3 weeks to a month, but I'm back, and we will keep the positivity going. I truly appreciate everything, and once again, much love. I cannot thank you all enough.